Whoops, I screwed that up. Alrighty then. Anyways, hello everyone. We're here for the final trailer. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm starting this a bit late. I'll admit. I'm like pretty much starting this thing like 3 minutes before the thing starts.
Yeah, I'm getting my siblings here to watch the final trailer.
So yeah, as you know, said yesterday, so we got him here. So, but yeah. Hold on a second. Wait, what the? Alrighty then. So. Yeah, I guess in terms of, I don't really have any expectations. I mean, it's a trailer for the movie. I don't know what. I mean, this isn't the first trailer or even the second trailer. It's the third trailer.
It's the final.
So it's kind of like, well, I mean, we're gonna see more stuff, but there's really nothing in particular I want to see. I just kind of, I don't know. Okay, you know what? Here, yeah, okay, I guess here's what I want to see. I want to see more of Mario talking. Because I want to really get like a more of a proper feel for how that's gonna go down when the thing actually comes out, since that's obviously the most controversial part of the movie.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what else to say, honestly.
Mm.
And completely other news that has nothing to do with anything, but isn't really news related. So I finally figured out how to use Google Takeout. If you don't know what Google Takeout is, it's basically a service that Google has where you can like download all of the data you've ever used on Google services. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to download all of my YouTube videos, but not just through like 4K video downloader like I would normally do. No, because I want the full quality original files. So, take a guess how big that download is.
Big.
Very big. I mean, I had a guess. I had a guess how big it would be. At least for everything, and this includes the streams, by the way. For every single thing I've ever uploaded to the channel from 2015 onwards, grand total right now, it's like 3.7 terabytes. But thankfully, I happen to have a 4 terabyte external drive that's not doing anything, so I had the computer going all last night just downloading. It didn't finish quite yet, but it's almost there. But I had to make sure I paused all the downloads for this, so it wouldn't, destroy the stream or whatever. So yeah, but okay, it's 12 and nothing's happening.
It's not 12. It is 2, in fact.
I was about to say that it's 12. There we go. And why is it choppy? What? I don't know. Whatever. Full screen.
And of course, it's the Nintendo Direct intro.
Well, yeah, it's a direct.
Hello, everyone. From Nintendo.
You know what saying about these that I've never really understood? Like, why do we have a direct for all these trailers? Is that really necessary? Like,
I don't know.
So wait, are they acknowledging the problem? Oh, hold on. Apparently, there's no sound.
They're acknowledging Mario Day.
Okay, there we go. I think the sound should be there now.
I hope you'll enjoy it all the same. On this special day, I'm joined once again.
Oh yeah, by the way, that background noise you're hearing, that's not me, that's him.
Thank you, Miyamoto.
That was also there yesterday. I didn't really bring it up, but
Nintendo and Illumination
Guess I'll just turn the volume down to a little bit.
on the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, nearly 600
And there's the guy from Illumination making the
from
movie.
Our animators in France
Oh,
to the
a
Nintendo
strong
team in
vote of
Japan,
confidence,
and our
clearly.
Illumination team here in the United States.
I really
And
do
it
wonder
pushed the
what
technical and
made
artistic
Miyamoto
capabilities
say
of the studio
Illumination.
to
That's the studio we need to go with.
Any
Like, I really
teen
don't get
teenager
it.
of any age can find something to love in this film. But
I'm
I
gonna
know
turn
the
down
people
your
watching this
volume a
direct
bit.
Are gonna love it the most.
See if that
After the
improves
trailer,
things.
I've asked our directors Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek to share a few insights, so please stick around for that. But first, let's say hello to our cast.
Hey, Nintendo Direct!
Happy Mario Day! It's exciting to be here with you all to celebrate the Mario Brothers.
Don't forget, Luigi is a Mario Brother too, so don't be afraid to celebrate the
So
Green
I
Man
think
if you
you're
choose to.
behind
really
actually by
appreciate
like
you
maybe
saying
5
that. Yeah,
seconds.
Green Brothers are for. And if you choose to celebrate Donkey Kong,
At least based
that
on
is
the
all
background noise I'm
Well,
hearing.
No, it's Mario Day, not DK Day. Sorry.
So let me get this straight. It's okay to celebrate Luigi
I just
and
realized I
Mario
have the
Day,
subtitles
but not
turned
DK
on.
or Toad.
Mario Day. You know, Luigi's the Mario Brothers.
I don't know, Charlie. It feels a little bit unfair.
Come on, can Luigi get some shine just once? You know, back me up here, Chris, right?
I'm gonna stay out of this. Let's go to Anya and Jack.
Hello again, Nintendo Direct.
Anya and I are here together to prove
Jack
that despite
Black.
our on-screen differences, we're actually totally cool in real life.
Gang's all here.
We're so cool, in fact, that Anya has
It
agreed
really
to
is
officially
funny
proclaim
how
this
like
day
obviously
as
this
Bowser Day
cast was such a
2023.
meme
That's
when they were
right,
first
Mario Day is
announced.
canceled. You're welcome.
Like it
I
wasn't
never
just
received
Chris
for that.
Pratt. It was like everyone was a big meme. Like Jack
cut that
Black,
part
Jack,
when she
but
disagrees?
Jack
Please
Black
cut
and
that
Seth
part.
Rogen. It was such a big
Bowser
meme.
Day, it's awesome.
And yet, as time
Alright,
has gone
everyone.
on and we've seen more, people
Relax.
have warmed up to pretty
Let's
much
agree
everyone
that Mario
except
Day
Chris
is for
Pratt.
everyone.
It's like the only one
This is
people
the
still
first
have
time
problems with.
Charlie-san
And
Keegan-san
unfortunately,
have
he's the
appeared
main.
in a Nintendo Direct.
And of
the
course, he's the
performances
main
of Luigi
character,
and
so it
Toad are
doesn't
perfect.
help the situation.
Okay.
Because it goes back to
Press
that
the
whole
start
problem
button on the
of
final trailer.
like everyone like Chris Pratt is just Chris Pratt. It's that whole thing. Okay, so the trailer's starting.
Where am I?
Ooh, fresh meat for the grinder.
So one thing I definitely have to give Illumination is we say what you will about their movies, but their animation's pretty good. I mean, just as an animation studio, ignoring everything else, like I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, the movie looks pretty good. I don't have any complaints as far as that's concerned.
We will destroy the Mushroom Kingdom.
Bowser is coming.
I don't have the volume turned up high enough.
We're going to save him.
Wait a second, was that the desert area from Odyssey?
You asked for it. This is fun.
I think we might have seen that before in like a poster, but I don't think we've seen that in the trailer yet. There's Mario Kart.
Let's end this.
This is what Mario Kart. This is what Mario Kart 12 will look like right here. And what's interesting is that you can see they bring back some of like the Mario Kart Wii era karts.
I saw that.
What did you all think?
Now, granted, we saw that, like for
Today,
example, like
we'll
the
also
like the
hear from
default
Aaron
cart
and
that
Michael,
Mario's
the
using
directors of this movie.
is the Mario Kart
Aaron-san,
Wii one, I think.
Michael-san.
Hello, Nintendo Direct.
I'm Aaron Horvath.
And I'm Michael Jelinek, and we're honored to be the directors of the Super
That
Mario
was shorter
Bros.
than I was
We wanted
expecting.
to take a second to talk about that Rainbow Road footage you just saw.
In Mario Kart, Rainbow Road isn't just beautiful to look at, it is also one of the least forgiving courses in the game.
As super fans of the Mario universe, we wanted to recreate that same sense of danger and epic scale on the big screen.
We also brought in artists who specialize in vehicle design and worked closely with the team at Nintendo to create some new karts that felt organic to the Jungle Kingdom while still inspired by the iconic game designs.
Our passionate artists outdid themselves in the execution.
We improved our lighting and rendering technology to elevate this movie beyond anything Illumination has ever done.
We're excited for how this came out and can't wait for you to experience it in theaters April 5th.
Back to you, Miyamoto-san.
Thank you, Aaron-san and Michael-san. As Chris-san confirmed earlier, post-production is finally done and the movie is complete. It releases next month, and currently it's being localized for different countries. Some regions
I
have
can
already
barely
started
hear
selling
what he's
advanced
saying
tickets.
right now, which really isn't helping.
I hope you'll go to a movie theater with family and friends and cheer for Mario's team.
I heard something about
those in the US,
localization.
I have
but
one
I
more thing
don't
to
know what
share.
else he said.
For
Maybe I
Mario
should have
Day,
kept the subtitles
We
on.
recreated the boots that Mario wears in the movie.
What the?
They'll be displayed at Nintendo New York.
Wait,
starting
what?
March 10th.
He just
If you
zoomed
have
in
a
on his
chance to stop
shoes,
by,
but I
please
don't
take a
know
look at
why
them.
he zoomed in. What?
Please look forward to the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Why would you bring up that they redesigned his shoes?
Well, no, they recreated them.
Oh, it was a recreate. I thought.
Mario's boots that are displaying them at Nintendo New York. On Mario Day.
Oh, I heard that completely wrong.
I couldn't hear like any of that stuff.
Versions of his shoes, like real life versions, that are going to be displayed at Nintendo New York tomorrow or on Mario.
Okay, let me turn down the volume on that a little bit so I can actually maybe hear things a little better. Okay. Okay, let me find the trailer again.
But he is.
There's gotta be a way out of here.
There's no escape. The only hope is
Okay, so yeah, we have that.
sweet relief of death.
Whoa! Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
My army! Koopas! Goombas! Whatever those things are!
Aw.
We will destroy the Mushroom Kingdom!
Bowser is coming.
I'm not afraid. I'll do anything for my brother.
We're going to save him.
Yeah, that's totally like literally just the desert area from Odyssey. The floating pyramids and everything. It's the same place basically.
I'll do anything for my brother.
Let's see.
Going to save him.
I know that they mentioned this in a previous like trailer or whatever, how like, hey, look, Donkey Kong looks like how he does in like the original game or whatever. Instead of using like the rare design they've been using for the past like 30 years for everything else.
You asked for it. This is fun.
Yeah, Donkey Kong having a fire flower is kind of odd. Brown Town.
Here we go!
And then yeah, a big focus on the Mario Kart stuff. Big focus. I mean, I don't blame them. It's Mario Kart. Of course, they're gonna have a big focus on it. Yeah, and you can see more of like Rainbow Road and how rainbowy it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, so wait, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm just reeling. Okay, going back. Okay, so they have the drift. They have the drift. They have the not the drift. They have the zero gravity. So,
I
cause yeah,
didn't even notice the zero gravity
yeah,
part.
so, yeah, and I believe that is, at least in this particular scene I'm looking at, that's the Mario Kart 8 cart specifically. Well, yeah, that's the Mario Kart 8 cart, I'm pretty sure. Because, like, earlier on, I'm pretty sure it was, like, the Mario Kart Wii. Like, in the last trailer, it was the Mario Kart Wii cart. And now he has the Mario Kart 8 cart, but I guess that makes sense, because in this particular scene, they have the zero gravity. Yeah, and all the other, like, carts. Actually, yeah, so one of the bikes has zero gravity as well. Yeah, and then we have this cart, which I'm pretty sure is, like, literally from Mario Kart Wii. I don't remember the name of it, but I know that's a Mario Kart Wii cart, or at least it's inspired by it.
Which one? The one that's like a bullet bill?
At, like, the very end of the trailer, when he gets in, like, a cart and he throws that green shell or whatever. I think that's from Mario Kart Wii, or it's inspired by one from Mario Kart Wii. It's not it exactly. I just don't remember the name.
I'll do anything for my brother.
Let me
We're
see.
going to save him.
Yeah, it does look like a bullet bill. What is that cart's name actually?
You asked for it. This is fun.
Here we go!
Every time I pause,
Oh,
it
it's literally just called the bullet bike.
well, I'm not talking about the bullet bill one.
Oh.
I'm talking about just like the regular cart that Mario gets into.
Let's end this.
That isn't like one of the standard ones. Yeah, that is definitely a Mario Kart Wii cart. Let me figure out what it is. 'Cause I don't remember the name. It's like
that's right. He crashes it.
The only cart in Mario Kart Wii I remember by name is, well, the Flame Runner. It's like the only one I know 100% because it's so iconic. Mario Kart Wii. Let's see. The Off-Roader, I believe is what
the
it's
Off-Roader?
I think that's what it's called. I think, yeah, that's the cart this is, like, based on, at the very least, I think. Let me put a picture on screen. Okay. I know that's a small screenshot, but, like, that is that cart. Even has the spikes on the wheels. That is totally what this is based on. It's not exactly the same, but it's close. So that's totally, like, what it's based on, at the very least. Maybe, can I zoom it in? Yeah, there we go. I can zoom in a little more. Yeah, that is clearly what that's supposed to be. And then...
I'm looking at them side by side. And that tiny picture is not helping. I can see some similarities to them, but
like, what picture are you looking at?
For the Off-Roader, I see this one of Waluigi sitting in it. And I finally found out which cart you're talking about. It's after he throws that Koopa Troopa shell behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, the one that's at the very end.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Okay, hold on, let me see. Is the cart he has at the very beginning, is that one? Is that the... okay, so I think the one at the very beginning is the Mario Kart 8. But wait, was the one in the last trailer also the Mario Kart 8 cart? I thought it was the Mario Kart Wii cart. Then again, they do look similar. In fact, you know what? Let me go ahead and let's bring up the last trailer or a screenshot from it at least to compare against. It's like this is the only thing I'm focusing on is the Mario Kart stuff. But but let's see.
How did I just realize I'm on the Spanish version of the Nintendo channel? Holy crap. I somehow ended up on the Spanish version of the Nintendo YouTube channel.
You sure about that? Because all those background noises I was hearing was the English audio.
Oh no, I was on the English during earlier, but it was still, the trailer was still in English. It just had Spanish subtitles. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh. So it's interesting. So if you look, so you know, like the screenshot for the presentation, like that looks more like the Mario Kart Wii one than the Mario Kart 8 one. But then when it's actually in the trailer, it's clearly the Mario Kart 8 one.
Let's end this.
I'm guessing the cart is just the Mario Kart 8 one, and it's been that since the last trailer. It's just that, I don't know. It's probably just because, obviously, the second that you see the zero gravity, it's like, okay, well, then that's clearly the Mario Kart 8 one. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from using any of the other ones. It's not like it has to be Mario Kart 8, you know. What I mean, they have the off-roader, basically, and that obviously isn't from the game. But then they also don't show it doing zero gravity, so that's kind of maybe the way they get around that. Or maybe I'm overthinking it, which is probably the actual correct answer. Also, the truck or whatever that Toad is in, I think that's also at least based on something from Mario Kart Wii as well. Because that also looks a little familiar. Not as familiar as the other one, I think, but... Let me see... There's tons of screenshots. Okay. Okay, so here's a screenshot from the last trailer. It probably is the same. Yeah, the shot from the last trailer. It probably just is the Mario Kart 8 one. It probably has been the entire time. Let me see. Let me see if I can get a side-by-side. Well... Okay, well, hold on. So it's a lot wider on the Mario Kart 8 version. You know what it could also just be? It could just be a fusion. It could be a fusion of both 8 and Wii's design, which is probably what it actually is. Or maybe it doesn't matter. You know, I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, that sounds like overthinking.
Because it's a standard cart, therefore I must figure out which standard cart it is. See, You say, yeah, there's the Mario Kart 8 one, there's the Mario Kart Wii one. Yeah, it might just be, it probably is like a fusion of the two. 'Cause it's not really one necessarily over the other, just there are things on it. And there we go. That's a screenshot, I guess. So yeah, it's a lot thinner, and it has the stripes that the Mario Kart Wii one has, but there's only one stripe on the Mario Kart Wii one, and this one is 2 stripes. But it also has, like, the back pipes of the Mario Kart 8 one. And it has the zero gravity. Yeah, it's just a fusion, probably. They took the stripes and like the smaller, thinner, like, I don't know what you want to call it, shaft or whatever, I don't know, from the Mario Kart Wii one. But then they also have elements from the Mario Kart 8 one. So it's a fusion of the two. We'll just leave it at that. It's a fusion.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
Yeah, so there's that Luma that has, like... I don't know why that Luma looks a little weird.
Be kidding me! My army, Koopas!
Then again, it doesn't look as weird as the one that's in, like, Sparks of Hope. That one where they just put, like, a rabbit face on it.
Bowser is coming.
I'm not afraid. I'll do anything for my brother.
Okay, so there's like a fire flower field. We got cannons.
We're going to...
What's the last? Yeah, yeah. That's the desert world though. The desert world. It's so obvious. It's the most directly comparable thing. We got the sound effect when they break open the item box, because why wouldn't it? Hold on a second. That sounded like Mario for a second. Like actual Mario. What? That sounded like a recycled, like, Charles Martinet clip. Like when Donkey Kong gets the fire flower, then Mario starts running. He does like a yaha or whatever. Like that sounds like actual Mario. Is it?
I doubt it. I feel like that's still Chris Pratt.
Well, if it is, then wow, he actually did a good job right there.
You asked for it. This is fun. destroy the Mushroom Kingdom!
Bowser is coming.
I'm not afraid. I'll do anything for my brother.
We're going to save him.
That totally sounds like a recycled clip. It sounds like they just took a Charles Martinet clip and spliced it in. Because every other time he speaks in the trailer, he sounds like what you'd expect him to sound like.
Hmm.
You asked for it! This is fun!
I will still say that I still am not really bothered by the Chris Pratt stuff yet. I mean, if I could watch... I mean, here's kind of been my logic with the whole Chris Pratt just sounds like Chris Pratt, he's not really doing a voice thing, is I watched a movie where Ryan Reynolds played a Pikachu, and that didn't feel off-putting.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu.
If I could watch that, in a sense, like, it didn't feel like I was just hearing... like Deadpool talk for an hour, like 2 hours or whatever. Like, I don't know, like that, if that didn't bother me, then I don't see why this would.
Mm.
But obviously, we will have to see because we've only seen snippets. Another thing I will say, and this may be a bit of a hot take, is well, whether or not Chris Pratt being just Chris Pratt is like a problem or not, I also don't necessarily think having Charles Martinet talk for like an hour and a half would be necessarily a good idea either. Like,
we'll give you that idea.
Like, his voice works well for like the short little like bursts that we hear him in the games. I'm not sure if that would work well, like, speaking in full sentences for, like, hours. I don't know if that would work, or if it would feel a little weird. I don't know, I mean, I guess you could argue it's still better than Chris Pratt, but I don't know. Oh yeah, we also don't know what Charles Martinet's doing, because he's in the movie. We know he's in the movie, we just don't know what he's doing yet. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be like a cameo, but, because we haven't seen any of the other characters. Like, we haven't seen, like, say, Wario or Waluigi at all. So, I mean, granted, it probably would have gotten other people to do that anyway. But I don't know, there's no other characters they would make sense for him to voice. That we haven't seen that yet.
Hmm.
So at the very beginning, when they're mentioning Mario Day, it's like, oh wait, they're actually acknowledging, because everyone was like, when they announced the direct, it was like, well, why didn't you save this like one more day so we could have it on Mario Day? Like, why do it on the 9th and not the 10th? Like, come on, like,
I don't know.
Are you guys idiots? like, but maybe, you know what it might be? It might be March 10th in Japan. That might be their justification. Well, it is March 10th. Maybe he even says it's March 10th in Japan. I just didn't notice because all of the background noises on your end kind of drowned out me being able to hear it all that well.
I don't know what happened. Was it the trailer or...
I'm Shigeru Miyamoto from Nintendo.
Let me actually listen to what he said.
Today, I'm excited for you all to see the third and final trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. By the way, do you know what March 10th is? If you write out the date in English, it looks like this. Okay, do you see it? It can be read as Mario. That's why many fans call it the Day of Mario.
You guys also call it that.
Mario Day. We thought this day would be perfect for releasing the final trailer, so that's why we chose it this time around.
But you didn't! Not here, at least. Again, in Japan, it might be March 10th, but over here it's the 9th, so... I don't know. Is it March 10th over there? I don't know. Time zone calculator, please, or whatever. Time clock. Where's Tokyo?
It is March 10th in Tokyo right now.
Yeah, 7:26 a.m. So they actually had to get up early. Okay, but okay.
For them, it was 6 a.m.
Yeah,
on Mario Day.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to get tired of like having to stay up all night for some of these. Like the Pokemon Presents, that wasn't even really worth staying up for anyway. like it's like if it's like a Smash presentation or like, you know, an actual direct, then like fine. But like if it's something that doesn't quote unquote really matter or it doesn't matter as much to me, then it's kind of like, I mean, I'm gonna stay up for it. Like I'm gonna stay up for a Pokemon Presents no matter what, because I don't want to risk missing something. Because I have been burned by that before. Like, for example, the Game Awards 2018, I deliberately didn't stream it because I thought we weren't gonna get anything. And then obviously backfired. So now every single I don't care if they don't show anything. I will stream it every single time because I am not risking that again. I'm not risking the chance of missing something. Sleep schedule be damned. Granted, the Game Awards wasn't at like 6 a.m. So that was a whole other thing, but yeah, it's like because I've streamed every single Game Awards except for I didn't do 2018, not because I couldn't, but because I chose not to, and that was a bad idea. And the reason why I thought we wouldn't get anything is because, oh, well, Smash is coming out like the same day, so they're not gonna show anything. Because they want all the focus on that. Yeah, they sure did. But yeah, I did 20. What's funny is I actually did stream the 2015 Game Awards, which didn't have anything because they had like an Iwata tribute that year, but because of course that was 2015. But I actually did that on my using like my crappy webcam and like really bad quality. Like, oh man, like I have it. It still exists, but oh man, there's a reason why it's not public. At all. It's in the playlist, I think, the 2015 playlist, if you really want to see how bad it is, but... And then the 2016 one I did part of, but then I had to leave because we went to like one of my brother's like school music events that he was having at that time. So I didn't get to see like the Breath of the Wild, like the new Breath of the Wild trailer like live because we were doing that. But 2017, which is when we got the Champions Ballad, I streamed that. 2018, I didn't do. 2019, I did, but we didn't get anything. that Game Awards, famously. That's when I believe that's the Game Awards event where we had the infamous, the Nintendo Switch has games. Remember that? The Nintendo Switch has games. It was from that Game Awards. We didn't get anything at all. Although whether or not that was for the better, because I mean, what would they have revealed? It would have been Byleth, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what would have been better? Having Byleth be its own standalone event, or it being like the big Game Awards announcement? It's kind of like pick your poison with how that would have gone over, but that's a whole other conversation. 2020, did the Game Awards even have an event in 2020? Yeah. Sephiroth. And I streamed that. And then 2021, I streamed as well. Although not on YouTube, I think. But that one I don't think had anything. I think that was another like 2019 where we didn't really get much. And then 2022, we got the Bayonetta spinoff, I think. Oh, we got like Fire Emblem DLC. But anyways, but yeah, the point is like, yeah, now it's like I don't like, if I can be there for an event, I will be there for an event. Although it still bothers me when I can't be there for an event. Like, for example, I really wish I could have watched the E3 2018 Direct when it first came out. But unfortunately, I had graduation, like, rehearsal literally right as it was starting. So what I did is I was watching like the pre-stream from Etika's pre-stream rip. I was watching that actually like right up until it started. Then I had to turn off my phone. And I sat there for like, what was it, 2 hours? I don't know how long the thing was, but like I sat there the whole time being like, they're showing Smash right now, they're showing Smash right now, they're showing Smash right now, and I'm not seeing it. Like, and what's annoying is that when I finally was done with it, and I turned on my phone, and because I told one of my friends, like, hey, send me a link to the direct so I can watch it without getting spoiled, so I didn't have to get, spoiled by the recommendeds and stuff like that. And guess what? He still spoiled it because he sent me the Smash Direct like on its own thing that had Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the thumbnail. So I was spoiled on the name because of course we didn't know the name yet, right? It was just Smash Switch.
Yeah.
So I was spoiled on the thumbnail, which bothered me, but yeah. But I didn't actually watch the thing until I got home, and then I recorded it. So I did get a blind reaction to it out there, outside of the name. I wasn't spoiled on like the characters coming back or Ridley or anything, so at least I had that going for me. But yeah, that was so annoying, like because it wasn't just any like direct, it wasn't just any E3 even. This was a Smash E3, and it was like oh my, like that's like the holy grail right there. Like it's like, no, I'm missing out on this. I mean, granted, the same thing happened for I remember like being kind of annoyed that E3 2017 was also during school. But that one wasn't as big of a deal, and I did get to watch it like unspoiled after the fact because again I like had someone like send me like the link, and I still remember like I was in, okay, so this is gonna be a little inside baseball, but like what was it called, like the Business Academy or whatever, like the room with all the computers. That remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Business Academy.
Yeah. So like in the room we would hang out like all the time and like do whatever. Yeah, that. So I was in that room like watching it on my phone like during like lunch or whatever. The whole thing unspoiled, and then of course the moment happened where the frickin' 4 popped up on screen. It's like, oh, okay then. Yeah, but man. Man, I'm getting sidetracked just talking about whatever here, but where was I even starting with all this? I don't even know how I transitioned from this into that. Well, oh yeah, it was missing events and stuff. Oh yeah, the whole 6 a.m. thing. That's how we got sidetracked. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad they did this at 2 p.m. though. Like 2 p.m. is like the most ideal time because I don't have to stay up all night. Because that's what happens. I don't set an alarm. I stay up all night because I know setting an alarm is pointless. Because I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep. So what's the point? Although it can be a bit of a struggle sometimes. Like once you get to like that middle portion, like once you get to like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. That's when it starts to be like, oh man, I really want to go to sleep, but I can't go to sleep. I need to persevere. And then once you hit like 5 a.m., then you're like ready to go because it's like, oh, only an hour left, right? So it's like that middle portion in the middle of the night where it's like, oh man, like I want to fall asleep so badly, but I can't. Because I don't want to miss out, or potentially miss out, even if it's not anything super, super important. Oh yeah, on another tangent, I know this is for a different thing, but since I was kind of bringing up the Pokemon Presents earlier, how have we still not seen Detective Pikachu?
I have no idea.
Like, they announced it 4 years ago. And we still haven't seen or heard jack squat about it. At least Nintendo will talk about Prime 4, and they'll be like, it's going well. But the Pokemon Company will not give us an inch a centimeter of Detective Pikachu 2. Like, I don't get it. They won't even acknowledge. It's not even a. It's still in. They don't even do a. It's still in development thing. They don't even. They just forget it exists. Like they never announced it. And no, I don't think it's canceled, but they're also taking forever on it. You don't know what I think might be happening with it. I think it might end up being in the same fate as the original game, where the original game didn't come out in the West at least until like 2018, I think. What if that happens here, where like it's one of like the last Switch games? Like I mean, it's clearly not 2023 at this point. I mean, it's possible it is, but I mean, it's possible that we'll get a presents in like June, and they'll be like Detective Pikachu coming in October. I mean, it's totally possible, but I feel like at this point it's like a 2024, like one of the last Switch games that'll come out, or it could come out afterwards. I mean, Pokemon is known for kind of lagging behind when it comes to the hardware, right? I mean, did Black and White 2, Ultra Sun and Moon. Emerald was like 2005 or whatever. So like it's not unheard of for them to like, you know, drag their feet with moving on to the next system. Although it won't matter as much this time around as opposed to last time, because of course last time we were talking about the 3DS to the Switch, but we'll be going from Switch to Switch 2, and everything's going to carry over. So it's not like it's not. So even if they don't make, so even if like Gen 10, right? Gen 10. So even if Gen 10 is only a Switch game, although that may not matter all that much in the grand scheme of things anyway, with how things have been going. Like, I mean, is the game really gonna look that much better on the Switch too? I mean, that's a whole other thing, but so I mean, like if Gen 10 is like if the Switch 2 comes out in March, and Gen 10 comes out in like, well, actually no, maybe it doesn't come out in 2024, because you know the whole Switch 2 thing of like, oh, they're working on like a graphics enhancement thing or whatever, right? And they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like DLC 2 is gonna come out in like April or May, not May. It's gonna come out in like 2024. And then apparently there was something about there being even more DLC beyond that or something. So maybe they're not going to skip just 1 year, but 2. That'd be a new thing for them. They've never skipped 2 years in a row. Well, so we might end up waiting until 2025 for Gen 10.
Lol.
And at that point, it's like, well, now obviously the Switch 2 will be out by then. There's no way it isn't out by that point. But even if it was just a regular plain old Switch game, it's kind of like, well, it's Pokemon, it's Game Freak. Is it really? Giving them better hardware does not necessarily mean the game is going to run well. I mean, heck, they even had some issues on the 3DS. I know I've heard people talk about how like Sun and Moon doesn't run well on like original 3DSs and stuff. Although, for what it's worth, that's not a Pokemon specific thing. Like, see, like all the people that didn't want to Switch Pro because they didn't want developers to like stop optimizing for the Switch. That's why they were worried about it. Because people saw what happened with the new 3DS, where as time went on, developers basically began building games around the new 3DS, with the regular 3DS being kind of an afterthought, and you would see like okay, so you know how I kind of like to pinpoint like Age of Calamity as being like one of the worst running Switch games?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's not the first time Hyrule Warriors ran poorly on a piece of Nintendo hardware. Remember? Hyrule Warriors Legends, how poorly that ran on like original 3DSs. Yeah, like, so it's not unheard of. But it's weird because it's like, okay, the game doesn't run super great. Granted, Pokemon wasn't that level, as far as from what I've heard. Didn't play Sun and Moon, so I can't speak to it. But I know that like even like one of my cousins who's into Pokemon, I remember he told me, oh yeah, like Sun and Moon or whatever, like the game, like I have an original like 3DS and it does not run well. Yeah. So like that's the thing people would have been worried about. Is like, okay, like what now? If we have a Switch Pro, then that means, and it's not even just a Nintendo thing. We saw this with especially on Xbox. Like the second the One X was out, any attempt at optimizing the base Xbox One was basically out the window for a lot of developers. They just stopped caring about optimizing for the base Xbox One, or at least that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. It's like it ran well on PS4, PS4 Pro, and Xbox One X, but the base Xbox One just did not run well. And yeah, the base Xbox One was always, you know, underpowered compared to the PS4 and all that stuff, but yeah, still. But yeah, that's the whole reason why it's like, well, if the Switch Pro comes out, then they'll make Tears of the Kingdom run well on the Switch Pro, but then it'll run poorly on the regular Switch, like stuff like that's what people would have been worried about, right?
Yep.
And honestly, I don't blame him, because we saw this with the new 3DS, and we saw this even with other consoles like the base Xbox One being completely left in the dust once the One X came out. Because the base PS4, even to this day, still runs games okay. And I think the main reason for that is because it was the PS4. Like, it was the flagship console of that generation, and like over 100 million people bought it. So like, they have to optimize for it. And it's just a lot easier to develop for than the base Xbox One was. Whereas the base Xbox One, you know, didn't sell nearly as well, doesn't have as big of an install base, and is not as easy to develop for. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Again, that's a whole other conversation. But... okay. I mean, there's nothing really else for me to say, honestly. I mean, the trailer was short. I was kind of hoping it'd be like
really short.
Like is that the shortest trailer we've had so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Like
not
that,
counting the
like, that was like a short trailer.
I don't know how long the first one was.
I think the second trailer was longer, at the very least. They haven't put up the standalone. Wait, no! It doesn't go up on their channel. They do the directs, but they don't do the actual standalone trailers. That goes up on like Universal and Illumination and all that stuff. Although part of me is a little surprised it doesn't go up on the Nintendo channel, considering how much they've plastered their name all over it. Which kind of goes back to something I know I've mentioned in the past, where like, if this movie doesn't work, we're not going to be able to point the finger at Illumination like we would have otherwise. Because Nintendo has gone out of their way to make it crystal clear that they're the ones in the driver's seat. So they're the ones that are signing off on This isn't like the first Mario movie, where they had absolutely zero control whatsoever. This is the exact opposite. Like, this isn't a Illumination movie. This is a Nintendo movie animated by Illumination, if that makes any sense. Or at least that's what it feels like with the marketing. It feels like Illumination is just there to like do the animation, but they don't have any real creative say. Or at the very least, they are not the ones in the... Again, they're not like... Nintendo has to sign off on all their creative decisions. So it's like, if the movie doesn't work, if the movie comes out and it doesn't work, there's only one person to point it to. It's like it's gonna be technically their fault, and that's on them. If they distanced themselves from the movie, if they didn't have these directs, if they didn't plaster their logo all over it, if they didn't tweet about it all the time, then that'd be one thing. But they are, so they're creating that association. I don't know. I mean, the movie looks promising still, so I don't...
Yeah, it still does.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing I would have been worried about would have been, like, the quote-unquote humor of the movie. Like, because that's the thing that triggered all the alarm bells, with Illumination being the one involved. Yep. But so far, I haven't seen any big alarm bells yet. The only thing in the movie that's really questionable is, of course, Chris Pratt.
Of course.
That's like the only real thing that's like super questionable that people are still not big on. But everything else seems to be working. So, Yeah. That's... Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, why... Yeah, there's no upload for that. Okay, that's pretty much that then. No point dragging this out any longer. So yeah, I mean the trailer was short, but I mean still looks good. Didn't really show us too much new though, aside from like the Fire Flower thing with Donkey Kong. It's really the only new, well, that and like the Zero Gravity. It's like the only two new things that I really noticed that were like new. Again, yeah. I think they may have shown that Desert World before, but because I swear I've seen a screenshot of it somewhere. But
they did show it in another trailer.
Like I know they showed it, but like not that exact perspective at least. I don't think. But yeah, yeah. One random kind of last tidbit has nothing to do with anything because I'm just on like the Nintendo YouTube page, right? And they have, like, you know, their little things for, like, you know, there's, like, the last Direct. They got, you know, Fire Emblem Engage, the Mario movie, Scarlet and Violet, whatever. But you want something that's, like, weird? They have a section for Tears of the Kingdom, but there's only 2 trailers in there. They have, like, the name reveal trailer from, like, September. Then they have the one from the recent Direct. But they don't have the E3 2021 trailer or the E3 2019 trailer. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because those videos are still the sequel to The Legend of Zelda, but just rename the trailers. Or don't. Like, who cares if you don't rename it? We all know that's what the game is. I don't know why they're pretending those trailers didn't exist.
I don't know.
And it's not just them not having it in the playlist. Like, for example, that September trailer is called Official Trailer 1. No, it's not. Stop lying to yourself. That is not the first trailer. That's the 3rd trailer. Maybe 4th, depending on if you count like the black and white Aonuma being like the game is delayed thing, where they had that little like little bit of it in there. But I don't know. But that's like the 3rd trailer, not the first. E3 2019 is the 1st, E3 2021 is the 2nd, and then this would be the 3rd, and then the last one would be the 4th. But whatever. Like, it makes me wonder if did they? Okay, now I have a no. Actually, you know what? Hold on, I'm curious. When they, because like the first time we ever saw Breath of the Wild, like in the flesh, was actually not E3 2016. It was that E3 2014 like teaser. Remember that? That was so long ago. Like, and you want to know what's funny? They still remember it too, because unlike the Breath of the Wild official soundtrack, they include that little like musical snippet from that trailer. Which is kind of cool because it's like they didn't have to do that. Like, how many people even remember that first teaser? like, I mean, I do, but, like, that was so long ago. That was back when it was Zelda Wii U, for crying out loud. They didn't have to include that little, like, music snippet, but I like that they did. One thing about that early trailer that's kind of interesting is that it looks better than the actual game. I mean, like the screenshot from that trailer where they show like the overworld.
Yeah.
And it looks like really, really good. In fact, the little snippet where they show like the Guardian chasing Link, even that might look better than the base game. I'm not sure. It's not like as drastic as like the overworld, whereas like the overworld looks like it's on the PS4 or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, the game still looked good in the end, but I guess it's that classic thing of like, people always talk about like, the Ubisoft thing, right? With like Watch Dogs, like the trailer looks better than the actual game. That's been like a complaint people have had with trailers for many, many years at this point. But anyways, the main point I was trying to get to with that is, do they still did they upload that like 2014 teaser as a video? And if they did they include it in any kind of okay, so I see like the Game Awards 2014 thingy, but do they have that like 20 2014 teaser. Oh man, I'm seeing some thumbnails that go way back. Like I'm seeing like 3DS launch era style thumbnails. Talking about like Ocarina of Time 3D.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Nintendo of America 11 years ago. Majora's Mask 3D announcement trailer 8 years ago. Oh man. That was like the big thing from that direct. That was the first like regular direct I think I actually watched. Was that one. Like I watched like the Smash Direct and like the Mario Kart Direct and like the E3 Direct from that year, but that was the first like regular Nintendo Direct that I think I watched when it came out. Yeah, I see Twilight Princess, I see Wind Waker. I don't see... Hold on, let me type in 2014. I see Hyrule Warriors, E3 2014. I see Treehouse. I see E3 2016. And I see the game. I don't see... I guess they didn't upload that as its own little snippet. That's a little surprising, because I know IGN uploaded it. And it's still around. Huh. Oh, you know what something I remember? Is when Hyrule Warrior... Okay, even though this was before I was, like, watching directs, I still saw, like, trailers and stuff, right? So, like, Hyrule Warriors, when it was first announced in, like, 2013, I thought that was the new Zelda. Like, I thought, like, is this the new Zelda for Wii U? Or when it was first announced? And then, of course, it's like, nah, no, it's not. But, yeah, I'm just seeing a tons of old like Wii U era thumbnails right now. Oh man. I think they still have like the first direct ever on here. The 2011 direct, and that first direct I have seen, not when it came out, but like I have seen it, and oh boy, is it the first direct, all right. Like it is very rough. like you could tell that they were still finding their footing with that. Like that goes back so far that direct talked about Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
As in like the original Skyward Sword.
For the Wii.
For the Wii. I think that was like half of what the direct talked about. But I don't know. I only really watched a small snippet because why would I watch an old direct like that? But I haven't already seen that doesn't have some kind of like nostalgic value for it. What's the highest viewed? So the Breath of the Wild 2016 trailer has 20 million views. The famous Switch presentation trailer has 28 million views. The E3 2021 teaser for Tears of the Kingdom is 12 million. And I think the newest one is like 5 or 6 million. It's funny because like that's kind of the trailer people are waiting on. They're waiting on like that big blowout kind of trailer. We still haven't really gotten that yet. Like, we're still waiting on, like, the big Tears of the Kingdom, like, blowout. Well, that's what people are still waiting on. Because they keep giving us these, like, teaser trailers that don't show us anything. Or don't show us enough, you know? Like, we don't get to see that much. And it's made people, you know, think, you know, is that all there is to the game? Is it just the Sky Islands and the new vehicles or whatever? Is that it? Like, because they won't show us. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And it'd be one thing if this was like, you know, 2019 or 2021. But like, we're only a few months away, and they still won't show us anything. And that's made people paranoid. Because there definitely is an increasing amount of people out there that are worried that Tears of the Kingdom is literally going to be Breath of the Wild 1.5. That, like, what we have seen is basically it. and there's not some like big thing that we haven't seen yet. And that wouldn't have mattered as much if this came out like years ago and it was probably supposed to. But this game has taken as long as the first game did to come out, if not longer.
Mm.
And it's like, you guys are reusing the same overworld, but you're taking just as long to come out. So what was the point in reusing the overworld if the game is still going to take that long? That's kind of the conundrum. But again, that's a whole other... That's a video I've been meaning to do, actually, like a discussion. Like, I was thinking of calling it, like, you know, the potential problem with Tears of the Kingdom, and that'd be a whole discussion kind of going into that whole thing. But
yeah,
of, like... That basically boils down to, the game's gonna be good, we all know it's gonna be good, but is it gonna just be what we've seen, or is there more to it? Because that's the whole thing. Okay, I really am dragging this out now. We've hit the 1 hour mark. Okay, let's just call this sucker. So so anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Antonio, for being here. And if anyone watches this after the fact or whatever, thank you for watching as well. Apologies for the background audio. I can't really do anything about that. But I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, that's pretty much the last real stream I have planned for right now, at least, because there's nothing else really happening. Actually, wait, is there? No, I don't think there is. I don't think there's going to be another, like, notable event happening for a while, right? Like, we had our Direct in February, we had our Pokemon Presents, we had this, we had the Mario Kart DLC come out, we had the new Splatoon stuff come out. I mean, there's really nothing else. The next stream, assuming something else doesn't get announced, and there's not going to be any other notable events, there's no, like, State of Plays happening or Xbox events happening anytime soon. But the next stream might be, and this is a big might. This is by no means a confirmation, but the new Forza DLC is coming out at the end of the month. And I haven't gotten any of the DLC. I've been meaning to. Like, I didn't get the Hot Wheels DLC. And that's because I was waiting for this to come out so I could play it at once. And maybe, and again, this is a very strong maybe, I am thinking of streaming that. And in particular, seeing if maybe Jay would be interested in that. Because that's a game that we both play. And we haven't done anything since the Ninja Turtles stream last year. So, you know, maybe it's something I'll bring up to him, but don't take that super seriously. It's just a potential idea I have, but I don't know. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Who knows? But yeah, there's really nothing else I have planned in terms of streams at this point. Like, everything's kind of happened for a while, and there's probably not going to be any more major news until, like, around E3 time, even though they're not going to be at E3. Although Microsoft is going to be holding an event, not at E3 necessarily, but they're going to be having an event around that same time. But as far as Nintendo goes, we don't really know what's going on with them, if they're going to have a June Direct or not. I feel like they're not going to. But less so because they're Nintendo, but more so because what are they actually going to show? Like, really think about it. Do they have anything big they can really justify an E3 event with right now? Because Tears of the Kingdom is coming out beforehand, and the only thing we know about after that point is Pikmin 4. And so, like, outside of, like, you know, Tears of the Kingdom DLC, a side order, and then, like, the Pokemon, like, DLC, even then that wouldn't be in the event probably anyway. Like outside of just, like, DLC, like, what else is there really for them to, like, justify an E3 event? So it's kind of like, and then, of course, and the main reason I say that is because we're kind of in, like, that 2016 period where we know they have stuff they can show us, but they're not going to show us it because they're saving it for when the next console is revealed. So I don't know. So, like, E3 2024? Well, assuming E3 is still around by then and doesn't get canned officially, then yeah, they'll probably be there because they're gonna have like a bunch of Switch 2 stuff they're gonna want to show off. But yeah. So yeah. Point is, at least in March. Let's just talk about March. In March, there's nothing like really planned. I'm thinking I might do a Smash stream because I haven't done one of those in a while. And again, a Forza stream may happen, maybe, but I really don't have anything planned for that. So don't really expect streams to really be a thing in the near future, but we'll see what happens with that. And as for the videos, I mean, no real updates there. Same thing I've been saying for forever, you know, as far as that whole thing is concerned. And that's pretty much it. So again, thank you all for watching. And with that being said, this is Logan59XP, and I'll see you guys next time.